Don't really know. MRI was negative, which is good news. So now it's just, a matter of day to day, see how it responds.
With a knee type injury, realistically, you expect to have him next week, or do you?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's better today than it was yesterday, and so, with no ligament damage, which is great news. But, there's obviously something wrong there, so, how that responds to treatment.
He won't practice, I presume, for a couple of days, at least.
I would doubt that. Like I said, he's better today. Get a lot of treatment, see what happens, Monday through treatment, and then whatever goes on Tuesday.
As a 2-year starter, does he have to practice to play?
I think he needs to practice some, toward the latter part of the week, yeah. It's when people don't practice through the week because they're hurt, sometimes you get a tendency to timing is off and things like that, no matter what position you play.
So do you go into the week with the idea that you've got to get Bridgeford ready to play?
Initially, yeah. And like I said, it's day to day. So, if he, depending on what Zach looks like on Tuesday, and so with no ligament damage, it could just be a muscle or something like that. So it's just, but Bridgeford will definitely be ready to play.
What does he bring you if he's able? He hasn't played an awful lot in games. What do you hope he can bring you?
Well, he's a student of the game. He's very, very bright. He prepares really, really well, and throws the ball well. He played in the Oregon game last year. Actually, I was just watching that. He played toward the end of that game, and threw some nice balls. But he's always prepared. He's a very good leader. He'll go in with a good handle on what we're trying to get done.
Is there anything further on Keenan as far as his condition?
No.
How's Payne? Will he be able to play, or is he going to be out for a little longer?
Kendrick said he felt better today. He's that surgery that he had was really, really painful, and so he was on a lot of medication toward the end of the week last week, and he was just in a lot of pain. And said today he hasn't taken medication since yesterday early in the morning, and so he said the pain had subsided, and really that's what the issue is right now. You put pins in your finger and meshing in your finger. I'm sure that doesn't feel good. Tapodi's fine. I think Tapodi's fine. Tapodi, he's a warrior. He's just been battling through little of this and little of that, and
was it an ankle that kept him out mostly the other day, or I can't remember?
It's been a knee.
Okay.
And he's had that, for most of the season, and plus I think he had some dehydration going on because after the game, after I spoke with you guys, I went and saw in the training room, and he was on an IV and was, pretty miserable. So,
any thoughts on why he appears to lead the team in helmets popping off? Is that all hair? Or?
He had like 4.
I don't know what it is. It's there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat that goes on in there, and you get hooked on shoulder pads, and you get hands in the head, and and even though they call penalties, when hands go to the head, but I don't think you can see all of them. When you're in such heavy traffic, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hand. You get it caught on a face mask of a guy going by, or you get it caught on a leg or something, and it's just one of those things.
Well, axle grease and that long hair probably doesn't help much either.
Yeah, his helmet fits fine. I just think it's all the close combat.
You didn't have Anthony or Jefferson because of the concussions again?
Or Harrell.
Or Harrell. And that's also a concussion situation?
Yes.
Any idea what their status would be?
I don't. Again,
you just got to pass that test.
Again, with that, it's Jefferson's has gone on here for about 2 weeks or more now.
Right.
So they have to be completely symptom-free, and then they have to go through the tests and so on and so forth. And as they do that, then and then they have to have a day of contact. You know, so even if they would have been symptom-free and passed the test, say on Friday last week, game day, they couldn't have played because you have to go through a day of contact with it.
And Triggs, you had said on Thursday you thought he was looking better, and then you couldn't play him either.
Well, he was looking better, but he hadn't practiced all week, and he really worked hard at rehab of trying to get it going, and he just, you know, he was real stiff, and he could run straight ahead, you know, but making a lot of cuts and things like that is pretty difficult on him. But I would anticipate that with another, you know, having been able to rest through the game, and then having Saturday and Sunday and really Monday off with a lot of treatment, I would anticipate that Monday or Tuesday he would probably be a little bit closer to ready.
Have you had a team that had this many injuries?
Never.
Can you figure out why?
No, I can't figure out why. I forget who asked me that question, you know, because you always look at it and, you know, is it something you're doing in training? Is it something like that? You know, but as far as sprained ankles and broken hands and you know, some concussions here and there, you know, now it would be different if we were having hamstring pulls or, you know, those type of things. But
then you'd address your training methods.
then we'd have to say, you know, why? You know,
Right.
are we overtrained? Are we undertrained? You know, so on and so forth. But it's not, they aren't muscle issues. You know, we've had a rash of a lot of broken hands, you know, with surgeries, be it hands or fingers or, you know, whatever. And, you know, a lot of ankles and a lot of knees.
Few
I was,
feet too, at least at the beginning of the season.
Who?
Feet. Gibson and
Those are ankles.
or those were like, and
Those are broken ankles. Yeah.
I was MSG had to come out of the game. What's his status?
I don't know yet. He got rolled up on his other knee. You know, it's not the one that he's been playing through. It was the other one. That looked pretty ugly on tape. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes people are running guys by and you're on the backside and you're protected, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, you get hit like that. It's freak deal. You know, it came from the other side of the field. You know,
Like
Freddie's
he was
blocking this guy around the edge, and he's battling and just got him.
how did you think Tagaloa played in Rigsby's stead?
How did he do?
Yeah,
Uh,
2 holding calls, but
I think he only had one, but I didn't think he had 2. I knew he had one. But it was good to get him in there. You know, it was good to get him in there and get his feet wet a little bit, and, you know, feel what the speed of the game was like. And so that's always good for him.
Did he come in because of an injury or because of the way Rigsby was playing there at left tackle?
He came in to try to give us a little more girth over there, because we were getting some push on that side, and so felt like, and the plan was during the game to play him some, but, you know, needed to shore up the pass rush on that side.
What was your reaction watching Oregon USC yesterday? Come away with a headache?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I've seen anything quite as prolific as how they make it look. You know, it's really something else. You know, those backs, and the quarterback is so fast. You know, I mean, when he carries the ball, he's got great speed. Obviously, Barner was, you know, great, and he's just got so much patience in what he's doing, and
He does wait, doesn't he?
He waits and he finds things, and, you know, I saw, you know, over and over. I was just watching that game right now, actually on tape, but on TV, I was just watching how many times he acts like he's going to go up in there, and people converge, and then he bounces, and then they pin him, and then he's gone. You know, they showed one receiver who got like 3 blocks. You know, he blocks his guy, and then here comes him around the corner, and he goes off of him and gets the other guy, and, you know, he's just so fast that he can outrun the edge a lot. You know.
He's got like 40-something runs of 10 yards or longer. I mean, he's getting 5 of those every single game.
Yeah, it's scary. There's no doubt about it. You know, to let him get the edge, you need to try to do your best to try to keep him inside. You know, because he really has a great knack for bouncing things and doing stuff. And inside, he has great vision too. It's not that he can't hit the hole, because he really can. He's a great back.
Obviously, they're a load for anybody. is it incumbent on a team to try to, the best defense is maybe to try to keep the ball away from at times and control the ball some?
Sure, always.
But even more, these guys score in 2 plays most of the time, don't they?
They score quickly.
Yeah.
They score quickly. Like their first drive the other day, I was shocked that SC deferred. Because SC never defers.
Yeah.
I've never seen, at least the times we play SC, I've never seen them defer. And the way they just went, I don't know how many plays was it, 5 maybe?
There'd be an argument for not deferring against the Ducks. Right?
To try to keep the ball, and they do it to everybody. So it's not,
right.
It's just they're very potent on offense. They have a lot of weapons,
and they've been pretty good for a while. But is this team better than what they've been, you think?
It looks to me, like their offensive line, just initially watching them, are a step ahead of what their offensive lines have been. Their offensive lines have been good, but this offensive line looks excellent.
To go with what they always have is skilled players.
To go with all the skill players, yeah. And then, the quarterback has an extra gear. Thomas, he was a good runner, but this guy is really fast. Thomas was a good runner and ran well and could make some plays and things like that, but this guy, when he breaks up the middle or he gets on the edge, he's very, very fast.
He's running away from DBs.
He's running away from DBs.
Yeah.
So and he's a very accurate passer, very good passer, and seems to have really nice composure in the pocket.
Anthony Thomas gets an awful lot of attention. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, but it seems like he's just one of the pieces, huh?
Yeah, he's one of the pieces. He's a big piece.
He's a hell of a piece, but
he's a fast piece. Yeah, I mean, he's really talented, and he can hurt you in so many ways. Because they do such a great job of putting him out as a receiver, so he can do some things as a receiver that he gets down the field and does a nice job, and then they can bring him back in the backfield and hand him the ball, and they reverse him. And special teams, he's an absolute threat. So, their team speed is excellent, and I think their receiving core has really improved. They have excellent receivers as well. So it's a tough offense to even try to slow down. No one really has.
Is it a concern that you might have to go into a game like that where you're going to have to score some points to stay with them, that you might be playing your backup quarterback?
Well, I mean, you get in a situation, I thought SC did a good job the other day of continuing to match after a while, because SC was having a little bit of success in running the football early. And then as it started to go, if you're going to try to keep up with them, it kind of changes your game plan a little bit.
Well, they don't punt and they don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, they punted one time.
And that was like in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised they didn't travel the punter.
No, I mean their punter, doesn't get a lot of work, but they're solid in every phase. And their offense gets so much attention, and deservedly so. But their defense is very physical up front and very athletic in the back end, and very good linebackers, and so they're a well-balanced team.
They're also just tremendous in the red zone. It seems like it's like 83% touchdowns when they get in the red zone. That leads the nation.
Yeah, it is.
Is it just because their offense is conducive to those types of plays?
Well, I think so. I think they run the ball so efficiently that they still make you defend the run there, and because if you spread out for the pass, if you're getting too deep and you're trying to spread out for the pass, they can still run the ball and make some big plays running the ball. And then if you stack the box in there to try to stop the run, then and a lot of their pass plays are play action passes down there, where your eyes are in the backfield, and then their tempo is something else. That's a whole nother piece of their attack, is their tempo, to where you're rushing around just trying to get lined up.
It looked like a couple of times SC wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, I mean, you're running around trying to get lined up half the time, and now the ball's snapped, and so they're on you, and
so that means you can't change personnel groups as easily either, I guess, right?
That's exactly right.
And given this opponent and your injury situation, how might that affect your your practice week?
Well, we're gonna have to talk about that, because every time we practice for Oregon, we've done a really good job of up tempo, and it's not so much the defense; it's the offense. To try to simulate what they do and how they do it is very hard to simulate that. Because typically on offense you have to go off cards on what the plays are, and that takes time to look at, and so on and so forth. But we've done a good job in preparation, I think, over the years of trying our best to simulate. There's no way you can you can't get to that, But the fast pace, fast tempo has got to be. You got to get lined up and be ready to play to have a chance. Because if you're out of position, at all, then that's where they can gash you.
Is the amount of injuries, the sheer volume of injuries, plus not being able to substitute as much as you probably would like on defense, plus their tempo, is that keeping you up at night? Is that
we're
a
gonna
concern?
have to be in great shape, yeah. And this time of year we're in pretty good shape, but typically, but we haven't really had the ability for a long time this season to wholesale substitute like we normally do. Used to be you could send a whole second D line in there and so on and so forth, and really can't do that now. And so it's you have to pick and choose your spots to be able to get guys substituted for.
Would you expect Rigsby to start Saturday, or to clarify, was it an injury that he came out with, or is he?
No, it wasn't. He's not hurt. No,
Okay.
It wasn't an injury. And so like I said, going into the game, the plan was to get Freddie some snaps. So he got some snaps, and Rigsby will be starting at left tackle.